Big Drive Energy Wednesday edition. The Olympic roster has been announced. We're going to get into all of that. King of America right now, Bryson Dechambeau, got snubbed. We got Scottie Scheffler making the team, of course, and a couple of other guys. We've got the KPMG Women's PGA Championship this weekend coming up, along with the Travelers Championship. Mitch will be on site for that in Cromwell, Connecticut. Super jealous of that. We got some U.S. Open to wrap up, a few Bryson stats to go over and talk about. And then we're also going to do a Fairway or Fore plus Mulligan of the week. All right, let's tee it up. Wednesday edition, Big Drive Energy. We're coming down off of a U.S. Open, but I know we talked about the Siggy events and the signature event coming up, how it's annoying, but it's like when you have a real big night, you know, like you go drinking, you maybe do a few extracurriculars, whatever floats your boat. And then the next morning when you wake up, you get to like drink a little bit more and kind of come down easy. So that's what I feel like the signature event is doing for us. It's making us come down easy. You're going to be there in Cromwell, Connecticut. Let's talk about just the week we just had and then the week coming up real quick.
Well, yeah, real quick. So you and I are going to be at a bachelor party next weekend in Breckenridge, and I've been thinking a lot about it. It's one of those things you look forward to. We're going to be playing golf at Breckenridge Golf Club, which is one of my favorite mountain tracks. And Keystone, are we playing the ranch or the river course? Do you know?
I kind of forgot. I think we're playing the ranch.
Okay, playing the ranch. I like them both, but either way, really looking forward to it. But I was honestly, I'm not shitting you, this morning I was thinking about so we're getting up there Thursday, then we have Friday and all of Saturday, and then we leave Sunday. So I feel like it's going to be like waking up on Friday is like the Travelers Championship, because we just had the first night. It was epic, like an absolute fucking blast. You're all hungover and shit, but then you have so much to look forward to the next day. So I will say that is one of the benefits of making a major sandwich out of these two signature events. I will say, though, that I saw yesterday on social media, they already announced they're moving the Memorial back to like its original date in May next year. So the Memorial's already getting moved next year. So it's not going to be directly in front of the U.S. Open again. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to going to Cromwell. So we're actually staying in New Haven, where Yale is. So I can act like I'm a Ivy Leaguer for one night. But I'm really looking forward. Have you heard about like New Haven pizza?
Was that on a pizza review?
Yeah, I mean, Dave Portnoy's done a lot of the pizza reviews there, but they say that New Haven has the best pizza in the world. Like, I guess it's a pretty specific type of pizza, but there's 3 or 4 spots that are legitimately like New Haven has its own kind of identity when it comes to pizza. So my girlfriend and I are basically going and checking into our hotel in New Haven and then just going to go hit like bars and pizza spots all Friday night. So I might luckily I looked at the forecast for next Saturday. Originally it said 97 degrees.
Oh God.
And yeah, and with that kind of humidity, I was like, holy shit, I might die out in Cromwell, Connecticut. Like I had like 4 hours worth of lessons yesterday, and it was like 93 and probably 80% humidity. And when I say like even my hands were sticky, and we'll get into it because I have a Mulligan of the week that I had an issue yesterday, but the heat out here, like there's actually a heat watch, like a heat advisory for the next like 4 days. out here in the Northeast. So other than the heat, they actually downgraded the forecast in Cromwell to like 83 degrees and like possibly a little bit of rain. So I'm fucking stoked for that. Like I'm really looking forward to that. Because so Missy, my girlfriend Missy, she within her company, they work with a lot of like insurance companies, things like that, like Travelers. And I was like, can you like get us box seats or whatever? So it turns out one of her coworkers is actually supposed to take some clients up to like the box behind the 18th green on Sunday. And he said, if anything changes, if anybody backs out, I'll let you know. So there's an outside chance that we stay another night and stay for Sunday and get to go into like, I think it's called the Mohegan Sun box on Sunday afternoon. So we'll see if that happens. If not, either way, we're going to have a great time on Saturday. And I'm looking forward, like this golf course, it's TPC River Highlands. There we go.
It's always been one of our favorites in general. And this
has always been a tournament I've wanted to get to.
Right. And now that it's a signature event, it builds it up even more. Cause I think so last year is the first year of signature events, 2023. And so 2022 and before, it was always one of those where watching it, you're like, God, I really wish. I remember watching it in 2022 or 21, where you're like, I really wish all the big players were here because it's such a good golf course. And I remember before Live, didn't Bubba Watson like dominate here? I don't know if he won that day, but he had a huge lead going into Sunday. So it's like, you're like, all right, I want people to see this golf course and tune in, because a signature event, while it only has 50 players, 52 players, whatever it ends up being, it's much more watched. So, and if you guys just saw that comment there if you're on Twitter with us, welcome to the show. Head on over to our YouTube, youtube.com, Big Drive Energy Golf. Check us out there. Give us a subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on the YouTube. We'd appreciate that. But yeah, Cromwell, Connecticut just is a great state. We've been there a few times, just like in and out, but not like actually stayed like you were going to. So I'm pretty jealous, and great golf course. Have you decided where you want to post up yet, or where you want to go? Because I think 15 is the electric spot, right? Isn't that the drivable Fore with the water all on the left?
Yeah, I think so. Missy is not the biggest walker in the world. She's not like, I'm not going to be able to drag her around that entire golf course. Let's put it that way.
So your map is shrunk a little bit compared to what the actual golf course is like.
My map is the parking lot and add maybe half a mile from where we park. Like if we can't even get through the gates, like because it's that fucking far from the parking lot, then we may just not go in, because she's not the biggest walker in the world. She's going to, I'm going to get her out of her comfort zone a little bit, but luckily it's not going to be just absolutely obscenely hot. So, but yes, I think I need to get a map of the course, because 18's electric. There's quite a few holes on the back nine that are just really good holes for viewing. There's the par 3 over the water. I think that's 17 maybe, or 16, something like that. So there's quite a few holes that I want to go out and see. I might just have to leave Missy behind. It'll be like a little kid. I'll be like, okay, you want to stay here for a little bit? I'm just going to go do some exploring, because I kind of want to see the entire golf course. So we will see how that goes. But I will say, so this is kind of a last minute thing. So I wasn't able to like apply for a credential or anything. And like, why would I get credentialed anyway? I'm a fucking idiot. But I mean, I told you how much they were, but aren't you surprised? So for those of you who don't know, general admission for this tournament on Saturday, just to get in the gate, is $110 a person. I feel like that's pretty fucking high for a PGA Tour event. Am I wrong?
No, when there's not like, I mean, there's a limit on the tickets, if you will, but there's not really there's not a capacity. It's not like you're buying a seat like another place, where it's like, okay, we want to sit here. Maybe this is a little more expensive. Like this is a general admission scenario, and $110 is quite a lofty price for a golf tournament.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not getting a seat. I don't get anything. If you want to get into like the box or whatever, they have a couple different levels, but that's like $250 to $400 for the day. But I guess when you think about it, you are getting like a possible 8 to 9 hours of entertainment or longer. You can be first one in and last one out and spend 10 hours out there watching golf. So you really just never know, how much time you're going to spend out there. So when you break it down to like cost per hour, I guess it is actually a pretty good deal. But I'll also be interested to see. I'm going to do like some vending. Like I'm going to hit up vendors. Obviously, I'm going to be eating and drinking. So I'll do some ratings of that shit. I'll do some ratings of the golf course. I'll take some different pictures. I'll follow some of my favorite players. I was honestly thinking about wearing a white t-shirt and just writing "Where's Mark Hubbard" with a question mark at the end, because he fucking deserves to be in this event. And it just, the way these signature events are set up, it's kind of stupid in all honesty, that he is not able to get in. He's the 52 ranked player in the FedEx Cup right now. He's made every single cut this year, like we've mentioned. So yeah, they still, PGA Tour in classic fashion is kind of screwing the pooch on this one once again.
Well, it's even funnier. So a couple things on the signature events. We'll get to Tiger Woods being specially exempt into all of them and what your thoughts are on that. But who was it? I sent you the text. Let me find do you remember the name of the guy?
Who?
The guy that I sent you last night.
Of the guy.
Oh, Chris Gotterup. Chris Gotterup?
Oh,
Shocking
yes.
he's in this fucking thing, to be honest. But he is playing by himself both Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, you couldn't let one more guy into the field, especially with, so Rory DQ'd, not DQ'd, withdrew, might as well have DQ'd, whatever. And by the way, real quick, I just want to touch on this. Did you see Shane Lowry tweeted this morning that he came out and was like, everybody be nice to Rory. He's really going through it. Like, are you and I like Shane Lowry and I like Rory, but what alternate universe do you live in? This dude has made $10 million on the golf course this year. And I understand, but it's rich people problems. Everyone in the replies is like, he made over $2 million that day. I think that was a decent, a decent afterthought for him, or a consolation prize, we'll call it, because Rory made over $2 million and everybody's feeling bad for him. Like, I guarantee you every other person on the planet would trade places with him that day. So, obviously it sucks that he lost, and the way that he lost was rough, but nobody needs to feel bad for Rory McIlroy. Like, if we've reached that point for him, then he's really like done. Because if you're not winning and people are starting to feel bad for you, it's over for you. Like, he needs to still have haters. He needs motivation.
Yeah, everybody can't love him, or else he's gonna just fall into that comfortability state, which is like after you get married and you just eat whatever you want and don't give a shit what you look like anymore. Now he's remarried, so he's back in the comfortable married life. He's not single anymore, like that 2-week span. But he's got to have some motivation from somebody, from somewhere. So let's not just on Rory all the time and just like coddle him like a little baby.
Exactly. Nobody needs to feel bad for the guy. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, so Chris Gotterup playing by himself, first tee time off. Hypothetically speaking, what do you think you would shoot? Because I feel like there's a little less pressure playing by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can treat it like you're playing around at your home course, out in whatever, just pick a course. Playing by yourself, I think, just alleviate some of the pressure. So what do you think you'd go fire at TPC River Highlands? First one out, sweeping it. First 2 days, what would you fire?
165, probably. Realistically,
I don't really think it's that hard of a golf course. I think.
Well, you hit the ball where you want to hit the ball 90% of the time. I do not.
Yeah,
you don't putt like a complete asshole.
That's true.
I went to the putting green and practiced again yesterday, and new putter, Odyssey 2 ball, found it in the garage.
Oh my God.
So we're working with that. Something we're also working with right now, real quick, let's get to this, is Lucy Nicotine. This stuff, incredible. I just ordered more from the website. I'm going to go check it out today. There's a store really close to me, an e-cigarette store that's supposed to sell these. Have you heard about the breakers? Have you heard about this scenario?
I have not had the breakers, but I've heard really good things. So I am going to give those a shot. I just got my package in the other day of the sample pack, and honestly, I popped one of those apple ices in my mouth, and it took me to like a Sunday morning in the fall. Like, it was the best feeling. If you listen to this pod, you know fall is my season. Like, that is when I am living my peak life. It just took me to a different place. It was like my favorite flavor of any pouch I've ever had in my life. So yeah, I was all in immediately. I was like, apple ice, holy shit. Like, this is a fall morning. This is a pumpkin spice latte. This is college football. It just got me right in the feels.
Yeah, so I just ordered apple ice breakers. So I haven't tried the breakers, but I'm going to go to this e-cigarette store and see if I can just get some breakers. I'm rocking the nicotine pouch, or the wintergreen nicotine pouch right now. Incredible flavor. I love that the can has its own little topper. You know, we don't have to buy the tin cans anymore and carry that around. So check out Lucy Nicotine. Level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. If you go to lucy.co/BDE and use that promo code BDE, you get 20% off your first order. They always offer free shipping and have a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co. Use code BDE to get 20% off and always free shipping. If you're a fan of some other nicotine pouches, they're going through some issues. So get on the Lucy train while you can. You can always order it. It comes super fast. Our orders last time came really quick. I'm excited to see. I just ordered it before the show, my next order. So I'm a full Lucy guy now.
This is the right time to make the switch. And I will say too, I really like the shape of the pouches. There's other pouches that I've tried that I'm not a huge fan of the shape. These are a little bit longer and a little bit like more narrow, I guess you would say. So it feels a little bit more natural. It doesn't feel like it's like hanging out of your lips. So I really like the way they feel as well.
Yeah, like when I pull it out, I kind of roll it so it evens it all out and makes it one big long log, and then I toss her in there. It's great. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Also want to tell you guys about our friends over at Bet365. I am on a heater. I actually got a Slack message from one of my coworkers yesterday and said, "You beautiful son of a bitch. I made $350 off Bryson DeChambeau this past weekend." So bomb, bomb, bomb. Bet365. Use that code ALLCITY when you sign up, and you get to choose between two offers. First bet safety net of $1,000, or betting $5 and getting $150 in bonus bets when you sign up with that code. They have all the each way bets, which we use every single week on Bet365. You can place your unit down. It doubles it for you. It puts money on this player to win and this player to top 12. I hit 2 of those last week, just on an ultimate heater. I think I'm going to continue it here with the Travelers. And here are our picks for this week. Once again, use that code ALLCITY when you sign up. I've got Hideki Matsuyama. I'm very keen on doing this where I just roll over a player from week to week. Hideki had a great week at the U.S. Open. Was never really a factor to win it. Was only a couple shots off the lead on Sunday. Just couldn't get anything to roll in. But Hideki is, I like to just copy and paste on this graphic sometimes, but he is plus 1,800 each way, 1 through 12. I got that
Real
boosted.
I was just going to say, you're always hijacking the boost. I guess that's the benefit of making this graphic. But I think you're going to have to throw me a boosty. And in all honesty, I will own it. I've sucked lately. Hand up. I've fucked up. So I guess your players should be boosted because mine are not winning. So what's the point in wasting your boost on somebody that's not going to compete? But yeah, I just throw me a bone every once in a while.
All right, I'll do that for you. And I think the funny thing about last week is you were going to take Bryson anyways, and then I took him. So that I really took the rug out from under you. But I've got Hideki Matsuyama this week. He is boosted. Another guy that played great in the U.S. Open, Russell Henley, plus 1,800. He was kind of frisky on Sunday. Got to a couple under. Had the best Sunday round, I believe, in the field. And then I've got
He's really solid. He just hangs in there all the time. Like you feel like you know what you're getting from Russell Henley week in, week out.
And then I've got Sahith Theegala. This is a little, my group is, I mean, Matsuyama's a proven winner. These other guys are not necessarily proven winners on tour, great players. Sahith was one of the worst players in the field to start the U.S. Open and fought his way back. So I'm confident in Sahith Theegala's game. He's played pretty well at TPC River Highlands. So I'm excited to see maybe he can get. We've seen a few guys win their first event, signature event. Kurt Kitayama, Matthew Pavon, guys like that. So I'm excited to see if Sahith Theegala can break through and win his first PGA Tour event in a tougher, smaller field, but a lot better players around him.
Yeah, I think I like all three of your picks. I'm rolling Colin Morikawa this week. I think he's trended in a really good direction this last month or so. He's playing great golf. He's competing in pretty much every event. And this is more of a ball striker's course. He's one of the best iron players on tour. So shout out our boy RK. It's his guy. I'm rolling with Colin. So hopefully he does me a solid this week and at least throws us a bone with the top 10 or a top 12. And then Tommy Fleetwood, just another guy that has not been able to get it done on the PGA Tour yet. But like you said, a lot of first-time winners out of the Travelers. Dude hits it just about as good as anybody. It's not really a distance course, which leads me also into my third pick, Brian Harman. He's played really well out here at TPC River Highlands. Just a solid all-around player. He defending Open champion. He's got the short game. He's got the wedges. So as long as he drives it in the fairway, I think he's got a great shot out at TPC River Highlands as well.
And just a full disclosure here, I did bet Tony Finau. He was going to be on the card, and I placed him in the Bet365 app because I thought there was a chance Mitchell might take him. So I placed the bet. Then I went back on my stuff and went and got Sahith Theegala instead. So if Tony Finau wins,
you went back on your bullshit.
I'm back on my BS. If Tony Finau wins, I will win money off that. Just full disclosure, but that's the official card that just went out. Bet365 must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, where should we go next?
I will also say that Bet365 is legal in New Jersey. So I am in New Jersey. It's been legal out here for a while, but it's so weird because I legitimately am back and forth between two states where Bet365 is legal, but it's actually given me the update because it doesn't update my location. And it's like, you are trying to use this app out of location. Like, we are going to report you and all this. And I'm like, I'm in another legal state. Like, what are we doing here? So if you're in New Jersey, you can also use the Bet365 app.
Let's go. New Jersey to CO, baby. All right, let's get to the Olympic roster. Let's talk about this because first, so I want to see what your thoughts are on the qualifying portion of it. Obviously, this is going to become a huge deal, and I anticipate this will be resolved by the next Olympics. Golf just recently made its resurgence back to the Olympics. We talked about it in 2021 that they ended up playing the Olympics because of the whole COVID scenario?
Probably. That sounds right.
And Xander Schauffele, of course, took home the gold medal, X-Man. And they, now it's just based on world ranking points. And with the Live Tour, there's no world ranking points. So arguably the best golfer, the second best golfer in the world right now, I'm not ready to call him the best, but the second best golfer in the world right now, Bryson DeChambeau, who's finished top 6 at all 3 majors, second, sixth, and then won the U.S. Open recently, is not going to be representing Team USA in the Olympics. And I think it's a travesty, but some people have thrown out ideas. Even my wife was like, hey, why don't they just do a qualifying tournament? And I don't know how, it's fair, but I want to get your thoughts on like what you think this should look like and you're for if you just had to. I feel like in sports too many times there's not enough eye test anymore. It's all about numbers and analytic. Like anybody that knows anything about golf, if you ask them one of the 4 best American golfers in the world right now, there's no way in the world Bryson DeChambeau gets left off that list. And that's a pure eye test because of what Live Golf is doing or not doing in terms of getting official world ranking points.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, like, golf has always searched for those events that would bring more eyes. Could you imagine just having a 4-round event? And even, I don't really know how you would do it. You would kind of make it a, Olympic sanctioned event almost. But having a 4-round tournament and the top, so and so's qualify from each country for the Olympics, that would be an electric must-see event. So they might as well capitalize on that. And like you said, it's been long discussed on our podcast and throughout the golf world since LIV has come around. Basically, world ranking points are a big fucking nothing burger. They don't mean anything. So, like, I mean, you don't even have Cam Smith on this list. You don't have other guys, that are high up and LIV. It's just ridiculous. So, real quick,
let's go through this real quick. So the official Olympic golf ranking, and then their official world ranking. So the top 9, the top 7 guys in a row. Sorry, I was trying to do my math correctly here. Make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me. So the top 7 Olympic golf rankings are the top 7 in the world in the official world golf ranking. So you've got Scoot Scheffler, Rory, Xander, Ludwig Aubert, Wyndham Clark, Victor Hovland, and Colin Morikawa. Then it drops down to the 8th, but 9th in the world, and that's Jon Rahm. So, and then it goes 9th in the Olympic golf ranking to 12, Hideki Matsuyama. And I don't necessarily want to read off all 60 names, but it goes all the way down to the bottom. So the 60th golfer in the Olympic golf rankings, who is 343rd in the official world golf rankings from Paraguay, Fabrizio Zanotti. What a fucking name. Fabrizio Zanotti playing in the Olympics for Paraguay.
He's a pretty legit player on the DP World Tour. But actually, shout out Rafa Campos. He is playing in the Olympics, so that'll be pretty electric for him.
Pins and aces at the Olympics.
Yeah, pins at the. So where is he? So he's representing Puerto Rico. So that's pretty electric. But talk about an opportunity too for, these relatively no-name dudes. Not Rafa Campos, we actually know his name, but there's a few names in here. Cristobal del Solar, Guido Migliozzi. He's representing Italy. That is the best Italian name I've ever heard in my life. Guido, if you name your kid Guido, that's just a real indicator right there. We have Afi Barnrat. He's going to be in the Olympics, ripping his vape. A couple of these names I'm just not even going to try. But then we also have Abram Anser representing Mexico, which will be badass. He just barely snuck in at 58. And then, I mean, there's definitely a couple dudes on this list where you're like, I have no idea how they're here, but
Camilo Villegas, Colombia.
That is and so how do they determine what countries are represented? Like, that's kind of my question, and maybe I sound like a 6-year-old asking that.
So here's the closest thing that I know is the qualification is by continent. And so in Africa, there's 2 qualifiers, one country. In Asia, there's 13 qualifiers, 7 countries. In Australia and Oceania, there's 4 qualifiers, 2 countries. Europe, 25 qualifiers, 14 countries. North America, 8 qualifiers, 3 countries. South America, 8 qualifiers for 5 countries. So 60 total qualifiers for 32 countries. And Jason Day in Australia and Minwoo Lee from Australia. So, yeah, Cam Smith not being there I get it. I'm not saying he's not better than either of those 2 players, but the qualifying scenario is just a little weird in general. And the Olympics are kind of always like this because you have countries that have 1 or 2 guys that are even legitimate or gals, legitimate Olympic athletes, and they're going automatically. And then you've got different countries that have 1 million people, not 1 million, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, a couple thousand people that are worthy of being in the Olympics, but then they have to get through and qualify, or in golf scenario, just be on the world golf ranking points. So, there's some interesting names on this for sure. Our boy Ryan Fox, fucking New Zealand. Trying to think. Toasty.
Any other names that stick out to you?
Alejandro Toasty, little Argentina. David Puig, he's been playing some good golf. Spain. So the cool opportunity is there's quite a few live guys that are getting the opportunity to play in this due to their country of origin. I don't know exactly how that works in terms of, do you have to be, because we talked about it a couple weeks ago with the lady that won the U.S. Women's Open, that she used to play for Japan and now plays for I forget the exact. I don't want to be wrong. I'd rather just not know than be wrong. But she's played for two different countries.
Yeah, I think she went from Japan to possibly New Zealand or Australia, one of those two. I could also be very wrong. So just typical fashion for us. But should we get into a little bit of what we think of the U.S. men's team and who we think is the weakest link? Because I think there's definitely been some discourse on the internet about this. So we have, like you said, we have Scottie Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Colin Morikawa, and Xander Schauffele. So if we were to take one person off this team and put Bryson DeChambeau on, who would yours be?
I think the unfortunate but pretty no, I'm going to go with Colin Morikawa. I don't think Colin Morikawa should be on this. I think major championships. Now, he's got 2 major championships, but we're talking about recency here. And how easy would it be to take the 4 most recent major champions, which from America? So you go Scottie Scheffler, Masters champion. Xander Schauffele and Scottie Scheffler to me are no doubt. You have to bring both of them because Xander Schauffele is he's the gold medal. Like, he has to retain his gold medal, attempt to defend his gold medal title. Gold medal defense is what I was trying to say there. And then Scottie Scheffler is the best player in the world. That's hands down, bar none. Like, over the last 2 to 3 years, he is by far the best golfer in the world. And then Wyndham and Colin is where it gets a little bit dicey. But when you look at official world golf ranking points, let's move the live portion to the side. And the what's the word? Holy shit. I'm slow. I'm having an issue here. The legitimacy. There we go. The legitimacy of the official world golf ranking points. Like, Victor Hovland is not the 6th best golfer in the world right now. The dude's been just over. I mean, he's been better, don't get me wrong, but in the last 6 months, like, talking recency bias, Victor Hovland's been struggling. So
and look at, so even like if we're including live players, how is John Rahm the 8th or 9th guy to qualify? Like, how is he still in the top 10 in world ranking points?
Yeah, he's number 9 in the world right now.
How the fuck does that make any sense? When the last time he won an event with world ranking points was last year, was it not?
Well, yes, but it's a matter of, like, he was number 1 in the world for a long time. It takes a while to fall out of that completely. And he's played in majors. And so he's won a Masters. He just won the Masters last year. So I think those winning tournaments obviously has a lot to do with your official world golf ranking points. But Bryson is the first guy left off of the list he's top 10 in the world ranking. And he's the first because of the way the Americans do the qualification. Since he's the 5th American, he's not in, but he's 10th in the world right now, even though he's not playing full-time official world golf ranking tournaments. He's just playing majors.
Well, and that just goes to show you how screwed up the world ranking points are. Wyndham Clark has not had a great season. He won at Pebble Beach at the AT&T in, March?
Yeah, in a 54-hole event.
Yeah, in a Mickey Mouse 54-hole finish, didn't even play the final round. And he is still 6th in the world ranking points. He has struggled. Like, he openly said last week at the US Open, if he made the cut, that would be a step in the right direction for him. So I'm not knocking how good of a player Wyndham Clark is, but let's be real. Golf is a game of momentum and retaining. When you have a hot round going, or a hot month or a hot couple months, you really got to capitalize. He is on a downtrend right now. He's not playing well. And it's just unfortunate that you literally have a guy that's playing the best golf in the world as of right now. Like you said, him and Scottie Scheffler, and he's somehow getting left off for Colin Morikawa, who has had a good season, but then you look at Wyndham Clark and you're like, really, what are we doing here?
And I actually made a clerical error here. So he's not
you.
Bryson is not the first guy left off. He's the second guy. Who is the highest ranked American that just missed the cut right behind Colin Morikawa to play for the United States?
Patrick Cantlay?
Yep. Patrick Cantlay is currently number 8 in the world right now in official world ranking points.
He would be like the quintessential American representing America. Like if we took a step back to 1776 and we had U.S. golf in the Olympics, Patrick Cantlay would be representing us with like his pale ass skin and his wooden looking teeth and shit.
Jesus. Okay. I'm trying to think who, because Tyrrell Hatton's still up there pretty high in the official world golf ranking points. He's sitting at 22nd, right in front of Cam Young, right behind Sepp Straka, Matthew Pavon, who will be playing a home game at the Olympics at Les Golf National for France. But who is representing? Oh, you've got Matt Fitzpatrick and Tommy Fleetwood. Okay, so that makes sense. So that's why Tyrrell is just missing the cut on the Olympics. He'd be a great person to have. Like, can you imagine him winning a gold medal and having that be like the champion? What do they call the winner of this? Is there a thing? Because you're like, if you win the British or the Open Championship, you're the champion golfer of the world.
You're the Olympic gold medalist. That I think that's just what they call you. Do you know another name on? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I will say real quick, the unfortunate part about this is I get there's deadlines and you kind of have to announce who's playing by a certain time, and that's already spoken for. But I'd really wish they'd gotten the 4th major in this year, which is a couple weeks before the Olympics, to announce or have still opportunities for guys to be able to qualify for the Olympics if they won the Open Championship or got top 5 or, something of that nature, because that brings a lot more of the world into it rather than the U.S. Open, which is very United States based. Like I wish they would have given the guys an opportunity to earn their way in through the Open Championship.
Yeah, that is honestly a good point. That's like picking the winner of the NBA MVP like 60 games into the season. You don't give your players a full season of majors in order to really like show what they've got this year and, like you said, earn their spot. Another guy that I see that is qualified, which I'll be excited to watch, and I bet will be near the top, but I could see him winning, is Joaquin Niemann. I think he's going to come out with like a fire in his belly. He's kind of felt like scorned this whole season because he has not gotten into some events due to his live jump, which, no surprise, that's what they signed up for. But I feel like he's the kind of dude that will carry that heat and be like, I'm going to fucking show everybody I'm the best golfer in the world. So I could see him going out and winning at Les Golf National.
Yeah, it's just going to be it's almost like another major in the top level talent, and there's no tour affiliation with the top level talent that'll be in this. And hopefully Rahm and his little toe feel better and he can actually give it a go, because he is one of the best players in the world when healthy. Real quick.
Wait. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, speaking on Jon Rahm, they said he's made a full recovery in a week, and his toe, he must have thrown some super glue in between his toes, because he is back this week playing on the Live Tour again. So he is fully healthy. He will be able to go at the Olympics.
He's back in Nashville for Live Golf Music City, baby. All right, we want to tell you guys about Shady Rays, our friends over at Shady Rays. They are premium polarized sunglasses that won't break the bank. Use the code AC35 to save 35% off Shady Rays. I wear my Shady Rays every podcast, except I will admit I bailed on the Shady Rays during the Mark Hubbard interview. Shouldn't have done that. We'll never do that again. Make sure I always have my Shady Rays on for the podcast, but also for golf. The Green Wolf golf glasses, best fitting glasses ever. Keep them in my golf bag. The polarized lenses just make the course look so much better. I use them every time I play golf, and you can even wear them when it's a little overcast. I talk about this all the time, but when it's overcast, you have those polarized glasses on. It really lightens up the course and helps you see the trees that I'm inevitably about to hit it in. So make sure you're checking out Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, they're giving out their best deal of this golf season. Head to shadyrays.com, use the code AC35 for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. I can't say enough good things about the Green Wolf golf glasses. Also, our friends over at Coors Light, if you need a moment to chill, get yourself a Coors Light. We're going to be deleting 1 million Coors Lights next weekend. I originally said I'd get through 60 in a 3.5 day span. I've taken some time, thought about my words, thought about what I'm going to do that weekend. And I've decided a 30 rack is a good goal for me to get through, because it's not just going to be Coors Light. There'll be some other hard alcohol involved in there, I'm assuming, but I'm going to try to get through a 30 rack of Coors Light. Maybe I'll document it. I'll buy 30 of the twist off cans. So maybe I'll have to buy like 36. I don't know what they sell the twist off cans in, or 18 and 12. But then
I would like to see you do a morning check-in at the bachelor party on your Coors Light count.
There's a sauna at our Airbnb, and I'm definitely going to be using that every single morning to sweat out all the Coors Light, just so I can fill it back up with Coors Light. I might have Coors Light running fully through my veins by Sunday morning when I have to head home. So that's going to be great. But check out Coors Light when you need a moment to chill. When you need to reset, reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. You got the Blue Mountains, so you know it's super cold. I'm going to make sure my Coors Light gets in the fridge first so that those Blue Mountains stay blue all weekend long. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer I reach for. When you want to hit reset, grab the beer that is made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door by Instacart. With Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So, Rom, full recovery on the toe. Do we have anything else we want to get to in terms of the Olympic qualifiers? And just
I don't think so in the Olympic category, no.
I mean, Tom Kim is playing. Tom Kim and Ben An. Kind of funny. So Tom Kim, his name is listed as Tom. Byung-hun An, both playing for the Republic of Korea. So you've got that. We know Ju Young and Byung-hun. This is getting bad. But really, it's Tom and Ben are representing the Republic of Korea in the Olympics. Just a good old Tom and Ben, just some good old Korean boys.
Hopefully they make their country proud. We know what happens when they don't. It goes poorly. Well, honestly, I would be lying if I knew the difference between the two Koreas. Somebody needs to mansplain that to me.
But Republic of Korea, so it's representing both.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just a combination of the two. Do we want a few last things about the US Open. Sunday's broadcast was the highest watched US Open in over a decade with 11.4 million viewers. You can't tell me that wasn't a captivating US Open. I think everybody was kind of in agreement that was one of the best majors we've had in the last, better part of a decade. Outside of a few here and there, but really just a captivating finish, I think, is probably what did it. Like, everybody was tuning in on that back nine. We had 3 guys in contention. So,
well, I think when they were on the broadcast, I'm obviously going to butcher the exact number, but I'll give you a general idea. I think they said only one of the last 26 majors had gone into a playoff, and that was the PGA with Justin Thomas, Zalatoris, and Mito Pereira a couple of years ago, which I hit Justin Thomas for.
Mito missed the playoff.
Oh, he missed the playoff completely. That's right.
Yeah, that's insane. And then one other note from Joe Pompliano, who's always a good Twitter follow. Bryson DeChambeau on Sunday following the U.S. Open. Google search interest up 250%. The Stitch times Crushers. The Stitch and Crushers X Crushers, yes. The Stitch Crushers collab sells out. So Stitch is like his clothing company that he wears. Gained 25,000 Twitter followers, 25,000 YouTube subscribers, 100,000 Instagram followers, and appeared on the Today Show in the morning. So it is actually crazy that there's people that are into golf that just started following Bryson. Like, it feels like, when you're like, where are these new followers coming from? How are they not already following him? I will say though that I have not followed him on Instagram or anything yet. I might go ahead and follow him on Instagram because did you see the video that he posted? And it was like actually corny but pretty funny. It was like a couple weeks ago or last week. It was an Instagram video of him practicing like hoisting the trophy at majors.
Yeah, he was practicing the fist pump using the
Yes.
pole, like the lever thing at the
He,
gym.
he was and he was practicing blaming his caddy. He was practicing a few other things. So it was actually a pretty funny video, and I think that just kind of encapsulates Bryson. Um,
Well, I will
and
say on that post from Joe Pompliano that we saw on Instagram, the first comment, I just want to, it's the only comment I can see, and I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this because it could go poorly. But the first comment, money can't buy class, period, Trumper, period, parentheses, incoming Bryson Simps. All right, let me go off for a second because
go
whether
off,
or
King.
not Bryson supports Trump is a moot point, okay? It should be a moot point. Let me put it that way. You're a simp if you think that's an issue for someone to support who they want to support. Second of all, I don't want to bring politics into this, so I'm not going to. But there was no one more classy than Bryson DeChambeau right now in the game of golf after what he did this past week after winning the U.S. Open. First, they showed the video of him. You want to talk about class and Rory McIlroy leaving as quick as he could. Plane's already in the air before Bryson even gets the trophy. But Bryson DeChambeau not only accepts the trophy, he then goes out later in the evening with Johnson Wagner as he's hitting shots, creating more content. He signs autographs into the dark for everybody that wanted one. He is letting everybody touch the trophy. Like, there's not more class in the game of golf right now than Bryson DeChambeau. So I don't give a rat's ass who he votes for president. And I feel like a lot more people would be happier in this life if they didn't worry so much about what other people thought about not them and other things. Because calling Bryson classless is insane to me after what he did. He didn't take the trophy and say, FJB or let's go Brandon, any of that nonsense. He just fucking went around and was nice to all the kids, signing autographs. He was great the whole week, talking to the crowd. Middle of a round on Saturday at the U.S. Open, and he's telling the crowd not to boo him because he's laying up. No one more classless in the game right now than this dude. So shout out to Bryson DeChambeau. I don't want to hear any of that. I'm not a Bryson simp. I may become one slowly because he's captivated me and just like many other Americans and golf fans just in general around the world. But what a fucking joke of a comment.
Yeah, I mean, the sad reality is there's a select group of people in this world that think that whoever your political affiliation is, you agree with all of their takes and everything they've ever said in their entire life. And that is just a really sad, like, reality that we live in, that people think you identify with who you support politically. It's absolutely insane, but there is that group of people in the world, and that is really sad. But I can tell you, so I've been teaching this 15-year-old kid. His name's Ryan, super sweet young kid, plays baseball, plays golf, and really getting into the game. And I did an on-course lesson with him yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, I swung too hard at that one. I was trying to be like Bryson." And I'm like, "Oh, do you like follow him on YouTube and all that and on social media?" He's like, "Yeah, I love following him on YouTube. I watch all of his videos. They're so funny." So that is the kind of impact that Bryson is having on the game of golf across all demographics. And like you said, I think the majority of people don't give a shit who he supports politically, and that is sadly enough the goal of a lot of people in this world right now, is to divide America and divide everybody based on politics, religion, race, all of that. So, like you said, not going to go any further, but there's always going to be people like that. So it's just best to ignore them. What they want is a response. So we are responding by not responding. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into the women's KPMG PGA Championship this coming weekend. I know you wanted to talk about this golf course a little bit, and I believe we have a graphic to pop up here. But talk about this golf course because it looks incredibly pure, and it's really cool when a non-popular, Like, not a lot of people know about it. Golf course is going to get shine from a ladies or PGA or whatever it ends up being major. And yeah, look at this place. I mean, that's like A1 level. Almost looks like Colorado golf to me.
Yeah. So it's in the Pacific Northwest. It's in a town called Sammamish. So,
Sammamish.
Marissa, you're our resident Pacific Northwesterner. How do you pronounce that?
You said it correctly.
Is it Mish or
Sammamish?
Mish?
No, it's whatever. I can never say it.
Come on.
But no, it's Mitch. Mitch said it right though.
Oh, fucking.
Oh,
Baylor.
suck it, Spencer. Quote, chalk one up for the good guys. But so this place just looks absolutely unbelievable. It's actually like 30 minutes outside of Seattle. And this is low key one of my favorite places in the world. Like, I love the Pacific Northwest. I love the massive trees. And so actually, it's called Sahalee Golf Club or Country Club. I'm sorry. Sahalee takes its name after the Chinook phrase, high heavenly ground. The course winds its way through the towering cedar and Douglas fir trees, which can make one feel very small. So the fairways are narrow as shit. The trees are crazy high. It just looks like a great venue. And like what I talked about when we were talking about US Open venues that are like non-traditional, I wouldn't mind seeing the men play in a major out here at this track because it is known across America as one of the, top 50 courses in the United States. And I am going to be tuning in for this KPMG Women's Open strictly. So not strictly, I want to watch the golf, but this is one of those where, however you feel about women's golf, this golf course is worth a watch. Like, I will be rooting for this golf course. I want to see these chicks shit pumping it into the trees. I want to see the stingers, that Minwoo Lee, I think, is famous for playing rounds out here and hitting these stingers around these corners and all that. So it's going to be a really fun watch this week. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, they kind of piggybacking off of what you just said about this course getting a major and being able to show its stuff. There was a Golf Digest article that popped up yesterday, and it was talking about the top courses that we'd want to see host a major, and we being Golf Digest. And number one was Cherry Hills. So maybe we'll get US Open back at Cherry Hills. It would be electric. I mean, it's going to be, I think it'll be fun to see because Colorado hasn't hosted a PGA Tour event. Now, the Ascendant Championship presented by Blue, which I'm actually, speaking of that, I'm going to be in a box for Sunday afternoon, 18th hole. So yeah, the presented by Blue Credit Union. So Blue Credit Union's hooking me up with a little box seat. Sorry, you're not in town, buddy, but I will be there. And so we get a Corn Ferry Tour event in Colorado every single year, but I'm really excited to see.
Don't fucking buddy me, by the way.
I'm really excited to see when the BMW gets here in August, what this insane distance level up has done on the PGA Tour and what it looks like in Colorado. Really excited to see that because then maybe the BMW proves, now it is at Castle Pines versus Cherry Hills, but it proves that we can go back to hosting majors here in Colorado. So excited to see that and definitely think Cherry Hills should be able to host a US Open again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too short. I don't think they have enough property to really, like, if you watch the US Amateur, these kids, these 18-year-olds were shredding this golf course, relatively speaking. I mean, distance-wise, on the greens and, the tee to green, if it wasn't for distance, it is definitely a major caliber golf course. It's just tough when, they can only stretch it so far on that piece of property, but it would be cool to see a major back in Colorado. A couple other quick things. Greg Chalmers Monday qualified for another Champions Tour event. So this dude is just on like a Champions Tour run this year. And he's just got to get status out there. I mean, he's making it basically sound impossible to get Champions Tour status. But I always like talking about him because he is kind of a fun Twitter follow, like social media Twitter follow. And he is one of the best putters in the world. He actually finished like top 10 in strokes gained putting on the PGA Tour like all of the last 10 years. So just cool to see him on social media Monday qualifying once again for another Champions Tour event.
Yeah, and then we've got Fluff is making his way back. He's suffered a nose injury, face injury a couple weeks ago.
What, was it a face injury? Did he go face down at the Canadian Open?
I don't know if he went face down. I don't know what happened, but it was
He
definitely
must have gone face down.
it was definitely a facial injury. So Fluff is back this coming week.
Did he injure the mustache? Is that what got hurt?
No, I think the mustache actually saved him from further injury.
I mean,
That
nobody
thing
really
probably
thinks of
propped him
facial
up,
hair
right?
like that, but that could have saved his life.
Yeah, that thing probably propped him up the second he hit the ground. All right, let's finish this pod up with Mulligan of the Week and Fairway or Fore. We didn't get to our Mulligan of the Week on Monday. So let's start it off. Mulligan of the Week. Give it to me. You did tell me a cutting room floor Mulligan of the Week, which you're apparently not going to share, but let's hear your second best one.
Yeah, I mean, my cutting room floor is just everybody's gone there. I trusted a fart, and it's just a tale as old as time. It was not the most fun for me, but everybody's been there. Don't lie. If you're telling yourself you haven't done that, you're full of shit. But my Mulligan of the Week this week. So yesterday, like I said, it's been really hot out here in New Jersey, and I had, 4 hours out in the sun, like actively moving and walking around out here when it's 93, 94 degrees and a shitload of humidity. It's a grind. Like even teaching golf, it's not for the faint of heart. I'm built different apparently, but so I wanted to put some extra like sunscreen on my face because I knew how hot it was going to be. And I always wear the I have my teaching bucket, the big floppy hat, which I always like to wear when I'm teaching. I look like a fucking beekeeper out there, but I really don't give a shit because it protects me. So I wanted to wear some like extra protection on my face. And Missy has a face sunscreen in the bathroom that I was just like, oh, it says 40 SPF. I'm going to use it. Turns out it was also a face bronzer. So it's like a bronzer that it's like a no makeup type of look. Like it kind of colors your face a little bit. It makes you look like, I don't know exactly.
It's tinting.
Okay, yes, it was tinting my face. But apparently you can't get that shit in your eyes. And I had it in my eyes so bad. I was standing out on the range hitting balls before my first lesson, and I legitimately almost canceled my whole day because I fucking thought I got tear gassed. I was constantly rubbing my eyes. It was running down into my eyes and it just kept fucking going. I had to go into the pro shop and like wash my eyes out in the water fountain.
It's just my bronzer. It's just my bronzer.
Yeah, my bronzer's running. Oh my God. So yeah, so I went to the pro shop and the one girl that works in the shop, I told her what happened. She goes, oh yeah, you can't like let that bronzer get in your eyes. And I was like, well, I fucking should have read the fine print then because this shit is absolutely ruining me right now. Like I legit went to bed last night and my eyes still hurt. So I will not be making that mistake again. Luckily my girlfriend ordered me some high SPF face sunscreen moving forward, so I'm not tempted to use her bronzer again.
There you go. My Mulligan of the Week, I lost my fucking shoes. I just left my shoes at the gym. Kind of a disaster. I'm pretty out of it when I'm at the gym because I'm so like hyped up on so much pre-workout and my music's just going that I just don't think clearly. And it was a day where I was running back and forth. I went to the gym late. I normally go early, first thing in the morning. I went later, brought my clothes, showered, left. Didn't think anything of it. Next day, I'm like, where are my black gym shoes? Like, I have no idea where these are. I'm like, looked in my backpack, looked in my room, everywhere. Couldn't find them. Was like, oh, I must have left them at the gym. Asked them for lost and found. The dude was like, shoes. And I was like, yeah, I get it. And he looked through the lost and found, no shoes. So I've lost my favorite pair of gym shoes just because I wasn't paying attention. Must have left them in a locker. Also a little questionable that somebody would steal someone else's shoes. That's kind of fucking disgusting. Like, I would anticipate that from someone that doesn't have a gym membership. But if you have a gym membership, that generally means, even though it's a cheaper gym, that you've got some sort of backing to your life and you're not looking for the next pair of shoes to wear around so you can not have bare feet outside. So a little questionable of somebody to take my shoes, but they are gone.
Well, and I will say, if you know Spencer, for those of you who don't know Spencer, he would lose his ass if it wasn't attached to his body. He's lost just about everything he owns at one point or another. So I would say this is surprising, but it's really not.
Yeah, not surprising at all. Marissa, Mulligan of the week, hit us.
So I'm getting into running. Like that's my new thing.
It's bad for your knees.
I'm terrible at it. I don't go long distances. I'm more of a very short distance person. But I take my dogs with me because I think that's just like a really easy thing to make them tired. But I take them separately. I never take them together because Zia loves to run and she's our little one and she'll pull me, which is great. But then our bigger dog, he kind of just runs along the side of me. But recently, Dune has realized that squirrels are in trees. Like that's his new thing is he understands that they sit up there. So he checks every tree that we run by to see if the squirrel's there. And so we have construction happening at our our house, our condo. And so you have all the construction workers outside and I hate running in front of people. Like I'm not a big so I try to avoid them. But they're everywhere right now, so I have to pass them when we're running by. And the other day when I was running, there was a squirrel that was running up a tree and I had both dogs with me because I was like, I need to make them both tired. And not only did they drag me, but when I was trying to gain balance again, the gravel that the construction workers had just pulled up had me sliding. And so not only did the dogs drag me, but then they pulled me across the construction zone. And 3 men were trying to run after me to help me get my footing again. And the dogs turned on them and started barking. And so it took me 10 minutes just to get up, get the dogs in control, and I have road burn on my ass.
I will say
All-time
that
Mulligan of
the
week.
first 10 seconds of you saying this, getting into the story, I knew what it was going to be about. I knew that your dogs were dragging you somewhere. That is inevitable.
The terrible thing is my dogs don't they're really good at running with you or walking next to you. We've trained them really well, but Christian has allowed them to go after squirrels now. And so I said, Dune understands that they run up trees and then they're there. And so now that's his new thing. So I wasn't ready for it. And so when I called Christian, he goes, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I taught him a bad habit. Sorry, I forgot to tell you." But now I can't wear super regular shorts or anything because I totally have road burn up my legs.
Amazing. Well, not amazing, but an amazing Mulligan of the week. At least it's content. All right, getting to my fairway or Fore really quick. If you're driving up, that doesn't mean north. It doesn't mean elevation. It means north. To me, when somebody says I'm driving up to Denver, that's because it's north of where you're at. Not
yes.
I'm driving up to the mountains because it's a little bit north, also kind of west. But I hate when people say I'm driving up to somewhere because it's a higher elevation, but it may be south. Or they say I'm driving down to Denver when they're actually going north. That's a big thing for me.
I would say that's a fairway. I agree with that. But also I kind of use it in dual terms because I always say I'm driving up to the mountains, even though they're almost directly west. So I think it can be used in elevation purposes as well. I would never say I'm driving down to the mountains because if you think about it like that, that'll kind of fuck you up too. Because you're like, the mountains are up. Why are you saying you're going down to the mountains? So that's mostly a fairway, but I could see a world in which I would disagree with you.
Okay. Fairway or Fore? Hit me with it.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking right off the hop. I think I'm gonna head to the pool this afternoon. One of our friends has got a community pool and it's just hot as fuck and I don't have anything else to do. But is it ever too hot to go to the pool? Because that is a real thought that's crossed my mind is do I even want to go outside to go to the pool?
See, to me, no, because there at a certain level where you'd be thinking I shouldn't even be at the pool, that can be taken by just going into the pool. Most people, when they go to the pool, it's just a water area for them to sunbathe. There just happens to be a big thing of water there. So if I was too hot to be at the pool, I'd be in the pool. That's how I think about it.
That is true. I am honestly just not looking forward to the walk to the pool, which is 300 feet. But I am going to
give him the cannonball right off the hop when you get in there. Throw the towel off. Toss
throw
the
my
shirt to
shit.
the side.
Yeah, and I do want to get some sun as well, but clearly I'm already getting plenty of sun. So it just crossed my mind that there is legitimately times where it's too hot to even just like go outside, even if it's to go to a pool.
Yeah, that does make sense. Put some more bronzer on your face. Thanks for everybody for tuning in to Big Drive Energy this week. We will be back Sunday evening, live show Sunday evening. Mitchell's going to be at the Travelers checking it out. We'll have some live coverage from him in Cromwell, Connecticut. Make sure to hit us with a thumbs up on your way out. Give us a subscribe. Click that subscribe button on YouTube. I am at Big Drive Spence. He is at Big Drive Mitch. Follow us on all the socials at Big Drive Energy Pod, however, on Instagram. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you Sunday evening. Peace.
Peace.